challenging thing was trying to do it in 24 hours.
Just staying awake for the last 24 hours, editing. We had to do the documentary in 5 days.
You don't really have a script. It's, you're discovering things along the way.
Arranging all of that on a micro budget and doing all sorts of things myself.
He's kind of the opposite of all these guys, except for Brian. I made it over 5 years because I had to wait for snow, which is
the biggest challenge was probably the backwards aspect of it, because you really don't know what's going to look good backwards until you make a film and watch it.
I wrote the second episode of Stop Date with my writing partner, Ron Crawford. It was a great experience.
My end goal is to be able to quit my day job and make films.
We have Brian Teague here, who created this whole, along with you, I'm assuming, right? And the whole crew out here tonight for the Stop Date premiere. We are at the Plaza Theater. And tell me a little bit more about what's going on. So Cinco de Mayo is the actual date. You were going to get the whole film, right?
Yeah, you're going to get the same 2 episodes we screened tonight, episode 1 and 2. It's kind of like a double pilot. And then the remaining episodes are yet to be filmed. They're speculative, which means we're going to try and raise the rest of the money to complete the series. And then we're going to shop it around as far as like these 2 and the plan. And hopefully we get that money so that we can finish Stop Date.
That money, honey. But listen, I'm glad that you mentioned money, because I always wonder, like, how do filmmakers get the funding? Do you guys have sponsors? Like, how does that work?
It's usually just out of pocket. I mean, we usually get the funds together, and Brian does take a lot of the load, but the rest of us producers usually try to pitch in where we can and just scrape together whatever we can so that we can have food for the actors and the crew, and so that we can get locations. But a lot of the good thing about Atlanta is that a lot of people are just so kind that they're like, yeah, sure, I've got this space free for these many hours, and so you guys can come and use it. And you have friends who will say, yeah, sure, I'll edit your film, or I'll be in your film for nothing. So it's really good to be in a small community, like we were saying before. But most of that money comes from us if we have to pay for it. So it's great to get sponsors when you want to do something a lot longer, because then you don't have to worry about, well, I have to work for 2 months and with no breaks, and then I'm going to be able to do my next episode.
How do your partners feel about this, girlfriend, wife? How do they? Because I'm sure that it takes a long time to make these things, and you're probably gone for weekends at a time, for hours. What's going on personally?
My wife, I've been married for 13 years, and she's known me for most of the time that I've been trying to be an actor. So, long nights at the theater during rehearsals and plays and stuff, she's used to it. I really got into acting as soon as my son was born. So, he's been growing up with me being away. So, I don't know. She knows that I love it, that I'm passionate about it. So it can be tough at times, but just to have me doing something I love, and I reciprocate with her as well, that we just kind of support each other in our artistic endeavors.
Awesome. Did you want to answer?
Yes, I do, because my girlfriend is behind the camera. She, we went through a period where, on Stop Date, where I got a little burned out, and I didn't touch Stop Date for 5 months. And if you look back at the teaser posters, they say coming summer 2014, and it's May 2015. And so I put it down for 5 months, didn't open the project once we got into post-production. And then we started dating, and about a month in, she was asking me about it, and she watched the teaser, and she was like, you really need to finish this. And I was planning on it, but she gave me the extra boost and encouragement to get me back into it. And now, as we've led to the screening, I think, man, I owe her something fierce because I can't go into anywhere without my head and my phone. So, yeah.
Somebody in the audience earlier asked, what's the end goal? And most of you guys said something like creatively. It wasn't really about to get picked up with a major network, or, it was mostly I just want to write stories that are amazing and create. What do you think about that? I mean, is it ever, going to be on a network? Do you really ever want that, or no?
For me, it's the end goal is we love creating stories, so that's what we want to do for a living. Not because we want to make a lot of money or get famous. That has nothing to do with it. We just want to do it for a living. And I mean, that's it. Create, get better, meet new people, travel the world, see places, tell stories. I mean, that's the life I want to live.
Yeah, and I mean, just to have a career doing this. I mean, most anyone that you asked here, any of these filmmakers would be, if someone said, you want to do this for a living, they'd say, yeah, they jump at the chance, because then that's a career of doing something you love, making stories, showing people just something straight out of your head that you've, thought of. Get picked up by a network or something like that, get famous. I mean, that's like winning the lottery. Everyone would love it, but that's not, you don't wake up every morning and go and buy a lottery ticket. I mean, at least I don't. So you've got to find why you want to do it. Well, I check the ones on the ground, and I'm like, not a winner, not a winner.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a creative brain is kind of blocked by those corporate rules and you know what I mean? Restrictions.
Yeah, the people sitting in the boardrooms at networks making decisions are not writers, directors, producers. They are attorneys and people wearing suits. Not that that means anything, but they're generally wearing suits. But they're the ones making the creative decisions, because it doesn't matter how good the product is, really. I mean, it can be a mediocre story, but if they think they can sell it, get people to watch, sell ad space, it'll get greenlit. Yeah.
For this next episode, would you allow other filmmakers to come in and help you with it? How does that work out?
Yeah, that was always the original idea, was to create it like a regular television series where we create it, we establish it, and then we start turning it over. Meanwhile, stepping back, staying in the background creatively from orchestrating the entire show, but letting other writers, directors, producers come in and kind of take over, working creatively within our space.
And we started this because Brian and I do a lot of the writing and making films together, and we've always wanted to work on something where we had a big team of writers and a big team of people, just to see how that would work. There's a show on one of the cable channels where they're interviewing all of the writers for all of the great television shows. They interviewed people from Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones, and you just see how much fun that they have just having a huge writer's room, and we just wrote together for so long that we're like, let's get some other people in here and see what they can provide, see what they give us. And it was really a great experience having so many people in the writer's room and having so much creative energy. That's why we have so many episodes planned, is because everyone was just like, ooh, well, after that we can do this, and ooh, after that we can do this. And so we have this whole universe that we've created, and it's all from just having all of those people in there giving their creative advice to us.
Thank you so much for having me here. I had a great time tonight with you guys. Good luck with everything, and hopefully maybe I can act in a film. Like I've been bugging Brian for ever. Yeah. Just saying, maybe you can use me as the nanny or the Fran Drescher-esque kind of.
I think you'll be the leader of the bad group, and you'll be the woman leader. Yeah.
Warrior.
Powerful woman.
You'd be like Tina Turner in Mad Max, right?
Right. Yeah.
Right? Exactly. Beyond Thunderdome, that's you.
Do you see this? This is what creative brains do to you. This is what happens. Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Congratulations.
Yochecka. I'm Brian with Get the Horns Productions. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. GetTheHorns.com. Check out episodes 1 and 2 of Stop Date. Like us, share us, tweet, #StopDate.